NomadBSD reviews, tutorials and gaming.
Before we start, if this is your first time to the channel and you would like to learn more about FreeBSD and the journey to a better desktop and server, then please hit subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out. Right, we're on the desktop and let's have a look. You get a home icon, Sakura, Firefox, Claws Mail, LibreOffice, Calculator, LeafPad, Geany, MPV Media Player, the GIMP, octopkg, a handbook, and a leave icon. And that's the default. Let's have a look at the handbook. And it takes you to, and this is the fantastic thing about this, is a handbook that's actually stored on the computer. So it brings up the HTML file. So even if you didn't have networking available, you could still look up a solution to your problems, or indeed get networking enabled. Very good. Right, changing to the top, we get a volume control. In this case, a DSP mixer. You get DSP MD for, or DSP MC for USB plugging in, and a calendar session under the clock. Looking at the menus, occasionally you get DSP mixer, Asunder, Audacity, Cantata, Deadbeef, MPV Media Player, Simple Screen Recorder, VLC, NSF Burn. Simple Screen Recorder by default now, which is pretty cool. Geany, GIMP, GTCam, Mirage, Xane, Claws Mail, FileZilla, Firefox, HexChat, Pidgin, Internet Transmission and Wi-Fi Manager. You get LibreOffice, Base, Calc, Draw, Impress, Math, Writer, and Orage Calendar and Global Time, QPDF View, RNR, Customized Look and Feel, Desktop Preferences, Display Manager, Auto Start, Display Settings, File Manager, Open Box Configuring, Orage, blah, 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 blah. You know the score. Add User, Bulk Rename, DSP Batmon, DSP, and a whole range of... Oh, Midnight Commander was quite good. And the whole range of the usual ones that you've had before. And again, just going to go down looking at these. Yeah. And you get one desktop by default. You can add a new desktop by just clicking on that. I'll show you in a minute. So go that, you go to desktop, add a new desktop. And unfortunately, you have to go back down to the menu and do it again. And so on and so forth. It would be nice if it didn't drop out and it just let you click on add or remove without actually taking you away from the menu. But it is what it is. Right, let's have a look. Yeah. So we're using PC ManFM 1.3.1. It's quite snappy, it works quite well. And we'll just bring up a terminal. And we're just going to have a look at memory usage. To keep one subscriber happy, he knows who he is. And you can see it's not so bad. It's using ZFS. And yeah, this is it's a bit bigger so you can see. Zoom in a bit. So like I say, it's using ZFS. And even then it's not using that much. So that's quite good. It's a very lightweight system. So using 217 megabytes of active. Let's have a look at the ZFS structure. It's got all the usual directories. Very good. And we're just going to start up Firefox. See, everything moves quite snappily. I mean, it would be a different story on if this was running for a USB stick, and especially if it was a USB 2. But from the hard drive, it's quite fast. It says using Firefox Quantum, 68.3.0 ESR. So it's a long-term support release, which is fine. You can grab the latest one if you want, but it's nice and stable as it is. Close Mail. This is instead of Thunderbird. I mean, they removed Thunderbirds and put Close Mail instead. LibreOffice. Not too bad. That's not too bad. Quite quick start. Let's see what version it is. If I can get myself coordinated, that is. There we go. 6.3.2.2. Okay, that's good. I do prefer OpenOffice myself, but LibreOffice is alright. And we're just going to do the obligatory test type. Increase the font. Yeah. It comes out nice as that. No jagged edges. Quite smooth. Very nice. Calculator. No, I'm not particularly fond of this particular calculator, but it works, so that's fine. LeafPad for a basic text editor. Again, it's quick, it's fine, it's good. Let's change that so we can be readable. There you go. It's all very nice. And we're using 0.8.18.1. Good grief. I love the numbering schemes for these programs. So I'll look at Genie or Genie. Let's have a look at the version. Yeah. Okay. It's one of the last ones available. MPV. There's not much to configure or look at on MPV unless you drop your files or URLs there. But yeah, that starts up nice and fast. Of course, there's GIMP. I know I did a quick cursory look at this, but I'm just having a look at the version numbers. So I can tell from the start this is version 2.10. I normally don't run down installed applications on an OS install, but because this 2.10.12, but because this is an operating system which is meant to be usable straight out of the USB or the install, I'll run down them. So let's say octopkg. That's really hard to see, so it's 0.20. I'm just going to have another look at octopkg. Now, if you want to get the latest listings or the latest database entry, first you need to sync. That will give you installed packages if you want to upgrade or sync. So first of all, you need to just sync it. So you just type in your root password. And that should do, when you do a pkg update on the command line, that's all it does. There we go. And we'll have a look at what's can be upgraded. And there we go. Yeah, not too bad. Okay, well, I'll upgrade these anyway. I'm not 100% sold on octopkg. I think it introduces too many unnecessary steps, and system update and package management, I think, is best done on the command line in FreeBSD. But, you know, Some people do like to see a visual representation of what they're looking for. I mean, that's fine. Right, and I'm just going to show you what I mean. So we're just going to root. There you go. So we do pkg update. That's really quite simple. I don't need to keep being asked root password, as octopkg keeps insisting. I'm just going to upgrade. And there. Tells me that I've already updated because I did that previously in octopkg. If I do a system upgrade or an update, it's really as simple as that. It's I'm just going to install it. I've no great love for on Linux. It's different. If you have a standard, say from Synaptics, a standard package manager across all different Linux distributions, then that's fine, because then you don't have to remember what each distribution syntax are for updating, etc. But for FreeBSD, I mean, just use the command line. It's a lot easier and quicker. Right, let's have a look. I'm going to install something which is missing really from it, which is a game. I'm going to have a look for a quick Tetris game. I don't want that one. Yeah, maybe. So installing something is the same as you do on FreeBSD, which is basically pkg install if you want to install the precompiled package. The thing it complains about is lame, missing dependency lame. Now, I've looked before. It's not available in the ports, and obviously it's not going to be available via the package. And even when I try to do a port snap fetch, it comes up with an error. So without going into too much depth or details, there doesn't seem to be a way that I can install lame for MP3 on NomadBSD. Maybe the developers could perhaps look into that. I don't know whether it's done by design or it's a bug, I don't know. If you had a HP printer connected, mind you, I have a network printer, so it's not applicable, but that's a good addition. But I'm just going to test actually whether or not it picks up the network printer. On GhostBSD it does, and I'm sure FuryBSD also did it, but we're just going to test on Nomad. So I'll just type some gibberish, go to print, and see if it detects the network printer. Nope, it's not there. I mean, it's easily solvable. I've done a previous video on how to enable the network printing. That's no big deal, but still, it would have been nice for it to actually automatically have picked it up. Right, let's have a look for some nice video editors, which is not available on NomadBSD by default. Shortcut is what I use anyway on FreeBSD. There's a lot to install, and we'll just go down it. Again, it's complaining about lack of lame. Well, we'll see how it manages. Just going to fast forward this 10 times speed. There we go. If we go down to now be up to video, won't it? Audio, video. Well, for some reason, it's installed two menu entries for Shortcut, which is peculiar. I would imagine it's the same program rather than two different versions. Yeah, it looks all right. So look at the about 19.09.14. Okay. We'll try installing Kden Live. So PKG install. See how much quicker it is on the command line rather than go to octopkg. Yeah, it's what you're used to, I suppose. Okay. There's quite a few to be added. Again, we'll fast forward. This time 15 times speed because it was quite a large amount of packages to be installed. Okay. Go to audio video and yeah, one entry to Kden Live, which okay. I don't know why there was 2 entries to shortcut, but yeah, that's not, you know, it's just a little thing. And Kden Live 18.12.3, so we're still on the 18.12, which to me is the best version. I'm really not keen on the new ones, on the 19 branch. Right, and for those who want to know about background images, because there are some, you don't get a massive selection. All nice, tastefully done. Yeah, a couple of customized ones, but there was generally just a pattern blurred background, which I'm going to use as a, yeah, there you go. Right, we'll keep it as that. Yeah. Okay, here's the changes since NomadBSD 1.2. The base system is now FreeBSD 12.1. The GPT layout has been changed to MBR. Support for ZFS installations has been added. And auto configuration for running in a VirtualBox. The support for ZFS is a big change. It opens up a lot of possibilities. NVIDIA driver version 440 has been added, which is nice. NomadBSD deconfig added. NomadBSD add user added. They're 2 useful things. Pale Moon, Thunderbird have been removed. Simple screen recorder has been added by default. And the multi-head script has been added. Simple screen recorder added by default is good. That's one of the main things I always used to do before I got a screen catcher card, was do a screen recording. So, you know, congratulations to the developers for that. So what do I think about NomadBSD? Well, I love NomadBSD. I think there's 1 or 2 perhaps niggles in this, not showstoppers, but just little things. And I think that's the point. I think we now in the FreeBSD world, what with FuryBSD, GhostBSD, NomadBSD, all kind of going for the same area. Now that Project Trident's gone, they took the workstation perhaps aspect away, but that leaves GhostBSD, NomadBSD, and FuryBSD all chasing the, I'm going to say lightweight, but kind of like desktop market, really. And so the little niggles, the little sort of like inconsistencies become more important. I'm not one for sort of like, I don't care about theming. I don't care about whether or not, you know, there's a spelling mistake in the handbook. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. I couldn't care less about wallpapers or anything like that. But when you start all vying for the same area, it becomes even more important that little things get fixed. And just this one, when I was setting up installing, the length of your username, I was limited. I couldn't put the full length, so I had to just put Chris. Which was previously, though, I could do any size username. So that's, I don't know whether that was added in or it's a mistake. I don't know. The double menu entry for shortcut, again, you know, that perhaps what's looking into, that would confuse someone who was not used to it. And the bringing of the port snap and not allowed me to install it, which, and also the lame dependency issue, that perhaps wants looking at too. But apart from that, I mean, we're talking, this is a super lightweight operating system based on FreeBSD 12.1. It's fantastic that they're wanting to keep it mobile. Mobile first, then install later. Rather than a live session like GhostBSD and FuryBSD wants to aim for. They have a live session disk that then obviously you install. But the NomadBSD want to keep it mobile, and you can happen to install it. That's fine. But apart from that, yeah, it's I love it. I think NomadBSD, in such a small length of time, are now defining what it is to have such a small operating system available. I mean, now that they've added, they added ZFS as an option to install, which I obviously did on this one, and it's still lightweight. So, absolutely brilliant. I mean, you could create a lightweight server, obviously not running on a USB stick, but say, for instance, on a low-end PC, as a file server. And it would work nicely if you wanted one with a GUI rather than a command line. So yeah, as a mobile operating system, it's unbeatable. You can just take out USB, plug it in, and just do your work, and it saves to it, and brilliant. As an install one on a desktop, absolutely brilliant, because it's extremely lightweight, and if I put UFS on rather than ZFS, it'd be even more lightweight. So yeah, I'm very impressed. I can't criticize it. There's nothing major. It's all good, solid work from the developers. 1.3 is looking very nice and brilliant. I don't want to be sort of like too sycophantic or fawning over it, but I really do believe that FreeBSD and FreeBSD-based OS are really in a really good position at the moment, a really good place. Yes, it was a bit of a blow when Trident left to go to Void. But that's their decision. If they want to do that, then that's fine. But in their place came Fury and joined Ghost and Nomad as two very capable, easy to get going, desktop-based FreeBSD operating systems. And it looks really good. It's good to have this choice. And it's not like where in the Linux world you get splintering and different and you get so many choices now. It does weaken it somewhat. With these ones, each one is distinctive. Fury and Ghost are perhaps the closest, but then you get NomadBSD, who's trying to do something different, and it's brilliant. So yes, it's a good time to be in FreeBSD at the moment. We're free of many of the problems besetting Linux, which is a shame for Linux, because I've got nothing against Linux at all, but what with systemd and DRM intrusions and just general Microsoft encroaching on them. If you was using Linux for perhaps a philosophical reason, then I think moving over to FreeBSD would be a logical choice, because we're never going to go down that route. The licensing, for one thing, is different. And, but that's for another video. This was not a super duper in-depth review. So yes, thank you very much. And I'll catch you next time. And remember, be safe, be happy, be free, BSD. If you want to see more videos like this, then hit that like button. And to make sure you don't miss out, please consider subscribing, as this really helps me help you.